tell your talking partner you're getting ready to stop the conversation. So, good afternoon. Good. Hey, I like the sound of that. That's good. Enthusiasm is what we need right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's such a pleasure to see all of you out there. And thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and attend your first town hall meeting. I'd like to see whether the first-timers stand up, not for the town hall meeting because we all first-timers here, but I'd like to see the first-timers. Recognize them. Hey, out of sight. Good, good. You're more than welcome. And if you have any questions, well, all the questions that will be answered today, I've already delegated to Jay and Bryant, and I'm going to stay hidden underneath the podium right here. But again, welcome. And Jay has established a lovely program for the agenda for the LTS, and I'm really enthusiastic about carrying it out. So I'm going to turn it over to Jay right now and let him begin his work.
Thank you, Louis. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to also add my welcomes to you to this year's Legislative Training Seminar and our first ever Resident Officers Town Hall Forum. What I'd like to do first is have the Executive Board, our National Executive Board, each individually say hello to you themselves. I'll start with Ted Keating. Cy Dumas. Go ahead, Cy.
Cy Dumas, New England Area Vice President. Ted Keating.
Excuse me, point of personal privilege. We're all going to do the Jaime clap. We're practicing for tomorrow. We'll start it today. Everybody know how to do the Jaime clap? Yes. Let's do it again. That's it. Ted.
Ted Keating, past president, retired and casual.
I'm Roy Boudinot. I'm the Central Gulf Area Vice President.
I'm Tim Ford, the Southern Region Vice President.
Jerry Sebastian, Southeast Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm John Aceves, the Rocky Mountain Area Vice President.
I'm Ben Clapp, Northwest Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Hayes Cherry, Pacific Area Vice President.
Come over here.
Good afternoon. I'm Marilyn Walton, Western Region Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Tommy Roman, Northeast Regional Vice President.
Good afternoon. Kevin Traer, Michiana Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm the guy that gave everybody the clap. Jaime out of Texas.
Shira Green, Cotton Belt Area Vice President.
Hans Zaklidian, Mideast Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. Jim Warden, New York Area Vice President.
Afternoon. Larry Ewing, Mink Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Wesley, the Illini Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Craig Johnson, Central Regional Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Richard Green, Capital Atlantic Area Vice President.
Good afternoon. I'm Ivan Butts. I'm the Eastern Region Vice President.
Good afternoon. Last and probably least, Chuck Mullador, Pioneer Area Vice President.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present your National Executive Board, and we're all in this together. Now, I wanted to introduce someone just for a second to address you, Arnie Endick. He is our NAPS Workplace Environment Counselor. He's formerly from the Postal Service in New Jersey, and some of you had a form passed out today, and we'd like to have him speak about that. Arnie Endick.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay.
You all have forms. They're very, very brief. They're workplace environment surveys. It gives us at NAPS a snapshot as to what's going on in your particular work site. And the reason is very, very simple. We at NAPS, we're committed. Our goal is to develop workplace climates that recognize and value individual worth and human dignity. These programs that the Postal Service publishes are not craft-only programs. They're for each and every person in this room, because you're all employees of the U.S. Postal Service, and the published policies apply to each and every one of you. So, to be very brief, I will leave those with you. We really, really need you to fill them out, return them to NAPS headquarters so that we have a snapshot as to what is going on in your workplace environment. Because at NAPS, we really are committed to having you, and I'll get to you in 1 second, having you participate in a workplace climate that is significant, that values you, the manager, as a very important, integral part of our postal system. I will be out there for the next day and a half. I will answer all of your questions. I have no time constraints. If I need to be out there till 10 o'clock at night, that's fine with me. I am committed to you, to each and every one of you, to assist you in any way that I possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you. So anybody up at the registration area, Arnie has a table set up right across from the registration area. Anybody wants to speak with him individually, you're more than welcome to do so. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our national president, Louis M. Atkins.
Hey, thank you, Jay. I thought, I'm going to try. I'm going to jump up. A lot of things is going on. I don't have to tell you about that. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things. We have a very important announcement that's going to be made on March 25th. I was talking to Arnie, and I've already requested that EAP counselors be available throughout the country. I requested through Mr. Pat Donahoe that they be made available on an as-needs basis because it's tough times. It's stress continuously out there. We live it. I talk with people going on sick leave, stress leave, whatever you want to call it, every day. So we know that, and it's very important for us to relieve that stress and do it in a very legal way. And I don't say that lightly, but it's very important we do things. It's just, well, let me continue by saying that. Andy Soci was a great friend, dedicated, committed member of NAPS, very talented, articulate person. We miss him dearly. We miss him dearly. It was times like that I could give Andy a call, and he always would lift me up when things are getting stressful for me. But I don't want to leave this story with a somber mood, but I know Andy would want us to continue. But I just say at the head, you would have no more of a dedicated member than Andy Soci that would be here fighting for us as we are going to be fighting for you right now. So I'll continue. It's very important that we stand and unite together. Outside this venue, there are very few friends we have. Years ago, we could go to the public and says, hey, they treated me bad. Public was our favorite friend. They loved the carriers, the mail handlers on the dock. They loved the supervisors they saw at the window. We had a friend. Hey, we could go to Congress and tell them, hey, this needs to be done. We have friends there. They aren't any friends anymore. The public, we have a 9% unemployment rate. We got jobs and benefits. They look at us as very fortunate individuals. We go to Congress, they're looking at a debt ceiling and we're rising our debt at $8.5 billion lost last year. And they're looking about cutting and doing whatever they can. So it's very important to realize that we need to unite. If there's going to be any success, is that we're going to have to unite inside and put that success going on the outside. We have to believe that and sincerely do that. Originally, I was going to start talking about the non-bargaining associate members with the APW contract. I put out a memo saying that we really couldn't elaborate on it because we don't know that much about it. I personally have not been briefed concerning the APWU contract. It appears what they're putting out appears to be a good contract for them. It appears what they're putting out, they're hitting us for jobs. That's not so. I see these things are being taped, and I can tell you a lot more, but they have me on tape. But those are going to, it's not going to be that big of an impact as it made the first impression. Because a lot of those job losses they cited, they're going to be EAS. Some of them are going to be small postmasters. It's going to be the greater majority of them. The lead 7 are going to do some of the relief, and that lead 7 has been on the books for years, back in days beyond before I was on the executive board, that they created a lead 7 postmaster. Window lobby people will maybe come from that 7. So we're looking at some things that we really don't need to talk about because we don't have all the information. So our contract, what we're going to come and try to consult with and derive, happens after theirs is ratified. 45 days from now is about the time period they give for that contract to be ratified with APW. They have 45 days to get back and make us an offer. So we'll start making offers, and your board members will be aware of some of those offers at the board meeting. We've gotten a slide program for them. Thursday night, they'll be staying late. They don't know that yet, but they just was told that they'll be staying late to go over these projects because we have a very aggressive agenda. We aren't going to let them take it home because that's going to put us at an unfavorable condition in actually consulting with the Postal Service because they'll have written documents that we will be giving them if they can get a hold of them. But they'll be well acquainted. We're going to ask and generate ideas about what we need to be asking for. We've seen some things on that was generated with the APWU contract that could be me too. First thing is the health benefits. We don't want to touch that. We don't want them to touch that. I don't care who tells the post office. That's our stand. We want to keep those the same. So that I'm going to let out to everybody. That's very important to us. There are some other issues that we need to talk about during pay talks that's going to be very important. But the thing that I want to say, we have some vehicles out there that can be used to generate new ideas for us. One of them came over at the Northeast that Andy originally started. He wrote the program and the agenda for that, is that if I work my day off, can I convert that over to annual leave? Something similar to your holiday, you have a choice. Some people may want to do that. So that was a new idea. I'm not going to go any further because I'll start elaborating because I believe in sharing information. But you have vehicles out there that you can get back to us too and share those. I hope everyone is pleased with the vehicles that we're using to communicate. H2 for You is a good vehicle to do it. Every 2 weeks you get something out there. You know, too often I see a few handshakes. We spend a lot of time, a lot of effort in doing that because that's what we believe in. These other two guys to my right are definitely, they want to have that done. We have the hotline that every week you can generate the hotline. We're doing videos. You know, I'm on Facebook in the airport. I'm up there on Twitter in the airport, right off the airplane. You know, we're doing some things to make sure that you as members are being given the information that you should be, because everything should be transparent. Pay talks, we can't negotiate with 33,000 members, but we can still share some things that we plan on sharing with your board, and they're going to be actively into the program of pay talks, and we're going to generate that more. But I just want to tell you, hey, it's a pleasure being here. Feel free to ask your questions. Ask questions and hold your comments down to what you believe. I'm not here to dictate what you can ask, but we have a lot of people. We like to get through all the questions. So please address the questions, Keep your comments if you want to make a point to a bare minimum so the next person will be there. But hey, we in this together, all together. And there's a lot of things that we can win battles if we stick together. We lose those that we separated on, and we fight among each other. Fighting is not the time that we need to be spending our energies on right now. We need to unite, have differences, but solve them peacefully, respectfully, and hey, that's my brother, my sister sitting next to me. Let me treat them like they're that. I can still disagree, but we can still be friends. I'm now going to turn it over and let Jay make a few comments, and then Brian after that.
All right, first off, let's talk about this week. I know we all have our eye on the ball for Friday. Friday's going to be a very important day. But unless we get the work we need to get done this week on the Hill, what's happening will continue and continue and continue. So this is the most critical week, I believe, in the recent history of this organization for us to be successful in lobbying up in Capitol Hill and getting our message across. And if you've had an opportunity to go through your binders, you'll see there's not a lot of pages in there. We cut out all the superfluous things, and we've honed in on 3 key issues. You need to study those issues, and you need to hammer those issues home. Now I want to talk about the 25th. The 25th is going to be a tough day for many people in this organization. And unfortunately, the way society is today, as long as it doesn't affect me, it doesn't matter. We need to make sure that it matters to everyone in this organization, all 33,000 members. I fly a lot. When I go on the airplane, you know, most of us don't listen to the safety talk at the beginning of the flight. And one of the things the flight attendant says is put your mask on and then help the person next to you, right? That's what we need to do in the coming weeks. Once you're stable, if you're fortunate enough that you're not impacted, you can breathe a sigh of relief, but then you need to look around to see if there's a brother or a sister of this organization that's hurting. Because I'll tell you this, with the 600 eyes and ears that we have here today and this week, we need to get more eyes and ears out there so that if somebody is weak and somebody's fallen, that we can pick them up and help them. We can get everyone through this. You know, in 2009, we had an operations restructuring, and I'm an old operations guy. I've worked in the plant, I've worked in delivery, I worked tour 1. So I'm used to rolling with the punches. The impacts on this restructuring are going to target people who work in support functions. Now, over the years, my ideas about support functions has evolved, because I used to see the support functions as people that work from 8:30 to 5, had weekends and holidays off. A lot of them had government cars, and when they went home in the morning, their wrists and their ankles weren't filthy dirty from walking the workroom floors. I used to think those were good jobs. Then I worked a couple of details in support, and I realized how hard those people work. Those people don't have the same experience, life experience in the Postal Service that I had working in the trenches. And that may be the best they'll be able to do after working 15, 20, 25 years in in-plant support, ops program support, AMS, and a lot of the other valuable functions that, quite frankly, I'm wondering what we're going to be able to do without those people. But we need to open our arms, open our eyes, and help everyone in this organization, so to help them to make the best decision for themselves, whether it's to opt for a VERA, whether it's to take a discontinued service annuity, whether it's about these rumored incentives that they're talking about, or whether it's placement in another position. So once you have your mask on, make sure you help the person next to you until everybody is taken care of. That's the goal of the 3 of us up here. And I know it really, when I put that in the front of your head, it's going to be your goal too. We cannot rest until we take care of everyone. And we're going to do that. Now, I want to make one announcement before I pass things over to Brian. Some people know because some of the information is leaked out. This is the last LTS that we'll be having at the Omni Showroom. Next year, we're going back to the Marriott at Crystal City. Well, we need you to stick around. You're going to do some heavy-duty lobbying this week. But that's because we listen to you. And that's why we need to hear from you. And, you know, sometimes the three of us may not like what we hear, but we need to hear it. And you may not like what you hear from us, but you need to hear it. We can't sugarcoat anything. But we are all in this together, and we all have to look out for each other. And I know the three of us here and all of these people in the front 2 rows, we're going to be working very diligently for you in the next couple of months to make sure that we get everything done that we need to get done, that we know where every single vacancy is, and get people the opportunity to go to those vacancies, match the lists up. We're going to utilize the service of every area vice president. We'll know what every vacancy is in every district, and we'll communicate that out to you. Your contacts are your branch presidents and your area and regional vice presidents. And if we communicate together, we can get through this. But if we don't, and we end up fighting with each other, we're playing right into their hands. Right? We're playing right into their hands. And the last thing we can do now is play into anyone's hands but our own. So with that, I don't want to belabor us getting into our Q&A. I want to introduce Brian Wagner.
Good afternoon. I apologize, I'm fighting a cold, but at least my voice is a little deeper. Yeah, I know. It doesn't make me any taller. First of all, I stepped at NAP's headquarters August 23rd. It'll be 7 months coming up. And one of the things I do want to thank Lewis and Jay on is that going to NAP's headquarters, they welcome me and they help mentor me as we go through these challenges. You know, we work as a team. And one of the things people ask, well, what do you do when you get to NAP's headquarters? Because you always have this thought. And in all honesty, we come in the morning, a little after 7. Yes, we do drink coffee, and I have coffee over there in case I need some more. And Ted, help yourself. We sit down normally in Louie's office, and we talk about the week, what we got planned, what's on our consultative, where we at with our NAP's HQ to you, our hotline. What are we doing with the pay talks? So it isn't that we all go into our own little rooms, our own little offices, and we just do our thing. Our thing is working together, and I think that's very important because as members, we're here to help you as the members. So let's talk about the members. We just started the new membership drive, and you're going to hear the numbers from me, mostly because Secretary-Treasurer is the numbers. We did a membership drive this year, the second one. Now just think about this. A year ago, we sent out 12,000 letters to non-members. A year ago, the first membership drive. This year we sent out 8,200. That's not good. I know you think, well, we sent out 8,200, but that's 4,000 less people. And guess what? A year ago we had 32,000 members. This year we have 31,000 and a few. That's about a 5,000 member drop in letters going out. One of the things we need to make sure we're pushing membership. That keeps us viable as a strong organization. There's strength in numbers. So I'm encouraging you. Right now, we're at about 500 new members signed up since the contest. We want 1,231 new members by 12/31 of this year. I'm asking you, go out, talk to postmasters, talk to supervisors, talk to the coordinators. March 25th is like December 25th, but unfortunately, it's bad Santa Day for some. But you know what? If we're prepared and we let our members know the benefits of NAPS, we'll be fine. We just, like Jay said and Lewis said, we need to just be prepared and be ready to help one another. Lewis talked about a lot of the communication things we're doing, the hotline, the NAPS HQ to you, the video blogs. We're trying to get the message out, the message you've asked for, and that's what we're trying to do. And if we're not giving it, let us know. We're trying to make sure that when we hear from you, we give it back out. One of the things we've talked about, and you've heard, we're ready for an extreme makeover on our website. It is in the process. I am very optimistic we should be up and running with a new website by July. It is, knock wood, I hope it's going to knock your socks off because it's going to be one of the best ones we've ever going to see. And hopefully, with the input you gave us through these surveys, you will see what you've asked for. And speaking about asking for, you've asked for the DCO program to be revitalized, to be fixed. It's antiquated. And we listened. We're going to have a new membership program, a company called Impact Solutions, a program called MemberMax. It's going to be web-based. It's going to be so user-friendly and web-based so that we can do more reports. We can find out when somebody unfortunately moves from a finance number from one branch to another, and we can fix that. There are a lot of concerns with it, but we're here to make it easier for you and those secretary treasurers out there who are having challenges trying to keep track of your members. We need to make sure the members are being represented by the branch that they're in. Let's just talk about finances. We got a tough pay talks coming up. It's gonna cost. It's not cheap, the cost of doing business. But let me tell you, your NAPS organization has done well. In 2010, our portfolio investment increased by over $1 million, a little over 11.37% net of fees, a return. That's not bad. That's for the 2010. For our fiscal year from June to February 28th, we're at 16.44%. So we're increasing. We're very strong financially. So we can be prepared for whatever we need to do financially on this pay talk. So with that, I don't want to take any more of your time except answer your questions. Actually, I'll just take the notes. You can ask these two the questions. Thanks.